How is everybody?
Good.
All right.
Coach, what did you just kind of learn about your offense on Saturday?
Well, I think, I'm reminded and we're reminded as a staff what warriors we have on our offensive side of the football and this entire football team. The way our guys grinded, what they went through to perform relatively overall very well and play in a very huge environment. What an environment that was for this place. It was magical. It really was, and couldn't be more proud of our guys. We're all disappointed, but you still be very proud of who you're around, who you're with, and who you fight with every day, even in times of struggle. And that's what we are as a staff. That's what I am as a coordinator. Just proud of our guys and believe in even more in them as to what we can continue to grow to be. That's the truth.
And then with JT and Colsey banged up, I guess, does that promote Braylon James up to varsity? And what have you kind of seen from him this fall?
Yeah, Braylon's still growing. He's in the growing process, right? It's a bumpy road to getting better, and he's done a great job. He's really taken steps and improving in practice the last couple of weeks. He's continuing to mature and be in that process as he learns how to take meaningful reps, and we'll continue to help him get there.
Coach, how, I guess, when you look at what Audric Estime in the game, you can say, is it this, how, I guess, trying to figure out how to word this, how satisfying, I guess, is it to say I can take Audric Estime out the game and nation's leader rusher and throw in Devin Forrest, Ron Payne, Jeremiah, and still get positive yardage against a really good defense?
Yeah, great defense. And we believe in our guys, and we think that really the efficiency and what Odd has done this year, along with the rest of our backs, is because we've been able to keep them fresh, to keep them rested, to keep hits off them that are unnecessary, and sometimes they are necessary. But our guys have been able to rotate each other and stay fresh, and we've been very efficient. And it's also allowed us to attack people different ways. Everybody has different skill sets in that room, and it's our job as a staff to continue to find ways to put them in the best spots that they can be the most efficient. And Dealin's done a great job with that group in our run game, and how we attack it with our staff has done that. We have to continue to do it because that's how we start.
And then moving on to Duke, facing another defensive-minded coach, a guy who was a DC here and at Texas A&M. What are your thoughts going into this game? What are you seeing that you like?
Yeah, well, it's a ton of respect for them. It's right back to attacking a top 5 defense. They're great at every level of their defense, up front, second level at backer, they're back end. There are 2 special players back there that rotate and make fits for them. They show up on tape everywhere coming from the roof and blitz fits and all those things. So tremendous amount of respect. It's a tough challenge on us again. And there's no rest time for us. We have to get prepared, make sure our guys are ready to go, because this is going to be a tough task down there.
The emergence of Mitchell Evans, how well he played in that game. Not emergence for most of us, but probably for the world. But how he played in that game and the big catches he made lately.
Yeah, would be no surprise to us here in what we know. Maybe some to that don't, but have high expectations for him. I think it'd be fair to say he's played at an extremely high level this year. Sometimes the ball doesn't find you in game plans. And that's unfortunate sometimes because you try to find ways, and then it does. And when it does, you can see how special he is. But he's really showed up in his run fits and how he's played for us this season to date, and really proud for him. And it was good to see him show up on a big stage.
What challenges does that 2-back set present defenses?
Well, if you think about it, there's a lot of things that are all found in game plans for a defense on back alignments and those things. So just in its very easy fundamental core, like when you add a back into that, it makes the things more challenging on how they fit you and how they can line up to the back. So at its very least, I think it's just a thing that helps you with 2 backs to be able to find different ways to mess with their fits and hopefully make it harder, especially when you're trying to prepare for guys that are really good. And that's who they are here too.
I asked Coach.
Last one.
I asked Coach Golden this, but what goes through the process of in your head when you're reading the defense and you're making a snap call and say this is the offensive play we're going to run right now based on what I'm seeing on the field? Yeah,
you're talking about me up top? Yeah, it's tough. You get a little time. That clock starts on 40 pretty quick, right? So you're trying to be ahead of it. You got to be. It's like it's a quick game of chess. You got to be out in front of things and have plans, and you're trying to rely on what you've put on the call sheet, what you've worked all week, what you guys can execute, and try to get out in front the best you can to give you guys the best chance with each play. And then, of course, it changes. What you think it may be on the next down and distance isn't, and you got to think on your feet. And that's really it. You just got to react, respond, and trust what was there. Thank you all.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Coach, did Jalen Steed kind of show enough on Saturday to kind of work himself into some more pass rushing situations?
I think he's a competitor. There's a couple things we got to improve, no question. I thought he had a really good practice today. Those are the things he has to do, is just keep it small and stack good practices. That's what's going to lead him, to where he wants to be as a player, and then obviously impact our defense.
And then going back to Saturday, did Marvin Harrison's injury change how you called coverages or anything like that?
No, not at all. No, we have a lot of respect for him, and obviously he's an excellent player. But no, I mean, again, Marvin is really, really talented, but it's a good group overall, so they spread you vertically and they spread you horizontally with their length and their speed. So,
Coach, what's it? I guess Coach Freeman was talking about signals for when you have one man down on the field. What's that learning experience been like with the defense and just
so obviously Coach Freeman addressed that publicly, and then whatever corrections we made internally. And as it pertains to anything defense for the 2023 Irish defense, I mean, the buck stops with me. At the end of the day, if there's lack of execution or miscommunication or anything that takes away from the execution and result that we want, that's my responsibility.
What was your overall thoughts on how the defense performed when you held them to just 17 points in the last second touchdown? A lot better than even a great performance last year. So what was
obviously competitors, right? So gritty, tough competitors. It's a 60-minute game. I think whether you're a player or a coach, we would probably all say, all right, there was one play that you would like to have back that could have tilted the game in our favor. And at the end of the day, I need to do a better job with the 2-minute defense, and we need to execute better, and that starts with me. So proud of the effort. Obviously disappointed the way it ended, but not discouraged at all. I mean, just an incredible effort by those guys, and the thing that is refreshing to me, and obviously encouraging, motivating, however you want to say it, is the way they came out in practice today to get ready for this Duke team, which obviously is a great challenge for us.
The 3rd and 19 play, how do you balance playing coverage or pressure in that situation?
So I could take you through a bunch of different scenarios for sure. I went pressure the previous two, the 4th and the other 3rd down. They got us on both. Threw a zone in there, and they completed the curl. So, we got to do a better job coaching it. We got to break on the ball better. We got to get that ball on the ground, So, we look at everything. What I didn't want to have happen was, we're throwing a 50-50 ball in the corner to a great player. And so that was unfortunate. It's like, like I just said, in a game like that, you don't sleep after it because, what if I tried this? What if I called it? No different than you do. But just, we had tried 3 different things and came up a little bit short. And then obviously on that one, we got to coach it better for the players.
Coach, kind of take us through, I guess, in a prolific offense like that, the mindset of how snappy, it is to call a play and read what they're doing offensively and make the call for your defense. Like, what goes through your mind and progression?
I think, try not to look at the call sheet as much as possible against a team like that, and be no different this week with Duke. Duke, their quarterback does a great job. They'll get into tempo at any point in the game. 2 very talented running backs, excellent receiving core, quarterback can distribute and run. So we're facing the same thing this week, and that is that they could jump into tempo like last week, and we got to have our cleats in the ground and execute. And I got to do a better job getting the players, getting them ready to do that.
Do one more. Kind of what we talked about this with Freeman. 4 7:30 p.m. games, back to back to back to back. Thinking about the logistics of that, or just the how that does the body. How were your thoughts?
No, I don't. Coach Free's got a great plan. First of all, in terms of practice, in terms of their day off schedule, in terms of travel. you come to Notre Dame, this is what you sign up for. So there's no excuses. All our focus is on having a great Tuesday practice. For most of us, I'm not speaking for Jared, but for most of us, it's a early down day. So did we have a good early down day? We got to go back and watch the film, make sure we correct anything with urgency, execute tomorrow on third down. That's our focus. So in terms of the schedule, the only one that matters is the Duke Blue Devils, and they are more than a challenge. They're a really, really good football team, well coached.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
TJ, how much confidence can you guys build off of from a performance like that, and then obviously a little bit of motivation of how it ended?
Yeah, I would say just as a defense, a lot of confidence. Until the last drive, they scored one touchdown on us. So, we're just trying to move forward, honestly. Focused on Duke. Duke has a really good team. So just like off of that game, moving forward, it gives us a lot of confidence as a defense.
And then is it easier to kind of dial yourself back in knowing that Duke is a top team?
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be another big game for us, another challenge. They have a good quarterback, good skill positions as well. So, it's every week is a challenge. It's hard to win in college football. So, we're excited and ready for the opportunity.
When you look back at that game, how hard is it to kind of just put it in the past, man? Obviously you guys have bounced back, but how hard is that to put it in the past and come out here and not think about it?
Yeah, just as a team, I think if you let one loss affect the rest of your season, and you look back on it and be like, man, I wish this didn't happen. So for us, it's just about moving forward. Coach Freeman always says we have 24 hours to, think about the game, think about the past, then we got to move on.
So this will be my last question about it, and so you can move on from it. What did you think of your performance, and how well you played in that game against a tough offense? Y'all held them to only 17 points.
Yeah, I think I played well. Obviously, we all have plays that we went back. I have a couple plays that went back. But at the end of the day, it's a confidence builder moving forward. We got a lot more challenging teams, a lot more challenging games moving forward. So for me, my focus is on that.
And your assessment on Duke so far with Riley and their ability to move the ball on offense, both on the ground and there?
Yeah, the quarterback's really good, NFL quarterback. He's going to be able to run the ball. He's going to be able to throw the ball. He has a good arm. They have good receivers as well. So it's going to be a challenge for us as a defense. They have a good offense. So we're excited for the opportunity, honestly.
Good to go? All right. Thanks, DJ.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Jack, what's kind of been the message from you to the younger guys on the team as you kind of maneuver this week?
Yeah, I think it's a team-wide message that Coach Freeman has certainly kind of echoed is, you win or you learn. And so this week we obviously have to learn from last week and grow and be better. We have to do everything a little bit better. Whatever you're doing, just emphasize doing a little bit more, try to make it a little bit better, and that will add up in the long run. So this week it's just about reaching the goal, playing our full potential, and just be the best we can be. So yeah.
And then is there, confidence the defense can take away from having a good performance against Ohio State? Yeah,
that's the thing we try to make sure it never happens, is that we don't lose the confidence no matter what happens on the field, right? So we played a lot of good ball on Saturday. We really did. Then we also had some plays we can learn from and grow from. So the thing about a defensive player, you can't let big plays or anything phase your confidence, and so you gotta keep a steady head and just play, one life, right? And so our confidence is as high as ever. That's not going to change. That's just the kind of defense and guys on the defense we have. We're not going to let one game kind of shake that, and we're ready to go out there and keep playing and try to play dominant football.
Any key takeaways from the defense that you guys played last week moving forward that you want to keep pushing on?
Yeah, like I said, we played really good ball on Saturday. We just got to get the ball out. We got to make some game-changing plays, and we did it Saturday, and unfortunately, that hurt us in the end. And so, just moving forward, we've been getting balls out, we've been forcing fumbles. We just got to get on them, and we got to start, being plus territory in that turnover margin. So that's a challenge that we've certainly challenged the defense with, and we're going to try to keep improving on that.
When you I guess when you see that last play with 10 players on the field, you look back on it. What are you guys? What are some, I guess, in-game adjustments that you guys can do to prevent something like that, or to just try to balance things out?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of woulda, shoulda, coulda in a situation like that, right? Like personally, like I'm sitting on the sideline, I kick myself in the butt for not seeing it, right? Like I pride myself on taking mental reps and looking out there and making sure like I know what's going on and I didn't catch it. So like I'm on myself for that, right? But at the end of the day, you just gotta learn from it and move forward and make sure we can be better the next time, next moment.
Just kind of a random question, but after a game like that, obviously you guys want to bounce back, but how difficult is it to even come and talk to media, knowing what the stigma is on the team or what's going on around?
Yeah, I mean, after a game like that, guys are frustrated, guys are disappointed. But the one thing about this team is when we came back in to watch film and learn from that game, like guys were ready to get back to work. Guys are excited for the challenge that lies ahead. For what we can still do and do as a team. So that was reassuring seeing. Guys aren't sulking in misery, licking our wounds. Like now, like it's time to move forward and learn from it and be a better football team because of it.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks. Can you kind of take us through that one-handed catch that you had?
Obviously, I wasn't expecting it, but because my job on that play is to kind of get my teammate open first. I think it was like Rico or JG running a little shell underneath me. So I was kind of, supposed to kind of get his guy or him open, get a rub for his guy. And then I'm thinking in my head, I'm at the top of my route, I'm getting, bear hugged. And then I do my little 1-2 at the top, and I just looked at the ball's there. I'm like, Sam threw it. And then I just got my hand out there, but my right hand was like stuck or something. So I'm thinking, all right, just squeeze it, grab it, whatever. So I came down with it. So yeah.
And then it looked like you were flexed outside a little bit more on Saturday. Is that something you've had to develop in your game, or has that kind of always been there?
Yeah, that was that's kind of always been there, pretty much like the season. But we were kind of showing it this game a lot. But one of the that was one of the things I wanted to work on. Like this off season was kind of like my route running ability and like top of routes, like staying low and at cutting points and stuff. So, that was one of the games, I got to show it. So, yeah.
And then with Jaden and Colsey banged up, does that put more pressure on you guys as a tight end room to kind of produce more in the pass game?
I wouldn't say it puts pressure on it because, our room was ready, like we're getting healthy, guys healthy and stuff. So, and every guy in the room can kind of be split out wide, I'd say. So I wouldn't say it puts more pressure on us because the guys in our room can handle it. So I think, even guys in that room, the receiver room, like younger guys like Rico and JG, like have shown the ability that they can, take on that extra load of plays or whatever. So, yeah.
What did you learn about your game after that matchup against Ohio State? Freaking talked about it on Monday, just about he's knowing he had these capabilities and you've shown him since the bowl game.
Well, one, that game, like we knew going into it, like it's gonna be a good game, top, 10 matchup, whatever, very good defense, top 5 defense, and all the guys, we were kind of like, all right, let's go. This is time, kind of the time to show like the world that like Notre Dame like offense is like legit, and personally for me, like I learned that like put a linebacker on me, I'll win. Put a safety on me, I'll win. Like, that game kind of proved. I think I got guarded by number 8, and I think 22, 35, number 6 was on me a little bit. So, like, I kind of learned I could go against anybody and pretty much win. So.
And then what about this Duke defense and Duke team in general? Do you know, and what are you looking forward to going to the next year?
Schematically, they're good. They're sound stats-wise. Like they produce a lot of turnovers. They're pretty stout up front. You got a good D-line. Backers are pretty good, and their safeties and the corners are pretty speedy. So they're a pretty sound defense. It'll be a good challenge. They're top 20, top 25, something like that. I don't know what rank they are, but they're pretty good. They've shown it all year. They've been pretty good teams, so it's gonna be a good challenge for us.
One more if we have it.
What do you look to do just to capitalize on for this upcoming game?
One of the things that for me personally, and like as a team, we want to like kind of come together and show like a response. Obviously it was a tough week last week, but championship teams like respond, and that's the kind of mindset we've taken on, and we're ready. Today was a great practice all around, offensively and defensively, special teams. We didn't flinch today. Like, no one was, with their head down and moping around, whatever, and like we're ready to go. So.
All right, thanks, Mitch.
Yep.
You guys play well against the defense of Ohio State. How's that helped build the confidence moving into this next game?
Yeah, as an offensive line, we have a really high standard we hold ourselves to, and that's to win every single play. And I think we did a good job executing, playing together, against a really solid defense. So we know what we can do, and now it's just time to put it forward.
And then how did you guys just kind of flush what happened on Saturday and move forward to today when you guys got out on the field?
Yeah, you get your 24 hours after a game, so you get your Sunday to think about it, kind of take the film, dissect it, learn what you got to improve on, really hone in on those things during the week. But once Monday hits, it's on to the next opponent. You go through the game film with your coach afterwards, and then right after that, you got to move on because you don't have time to dwell on that. Otherwise, you won't be taking full advantage of the opportunity this week. And we have college game day again versus Duke, a night game against a good opponent. So I think the main thing is just making sure everyone understands what's at stake here. And if you're living in the past, then you won't be able to execute now.
And then what challenges does Dwayne Carter and Jamion kind of present you in the middle?
Yeah, they're big, strong guys. Obviously, Jamion went here before. He's a great guy. Love him. They play really heavy into the guard, so we're going to have to make sure, we're playing physical football, coming off the rock and just taking care of business.
Looking at that game, how much do the reps in this game against Ohio State prepare you for Duke, especially considering the ending, just taking out their frustration and against a team like this on another Saturday?
Yeah, I think it makes it sting more, after a loss like that. And going through the week, you're not thinking about it, but you really start to understand really what it takes to get it done, especially when it matters most. Like fourth down, got to convert. There's points, got to have it, and we understand what it takes. And then going forward, obviously, it's just all about us reaching our full potential. It's not about the opponent we're playing, and we got a good team in Duke this week, so we're ready to go.
What's the veteran leadership like on that front line with you, Blake, Joe, and how much you've been able to help the other guys on the front line?
Yeah, the good thing about it is everyone knows what they're doing. I don't have to worry about that, but I think the main thing is just making sure, guys are really honing in on their technique for certain plays. Like you can say something that would give someone a cue to trigger in their head a technique that would better them in this play. And then making sure communication's on point. I think that's the most difficult thing, especially playing on the road. Making sure communication is at a really high level so everyone's playing together. And that's when you're going to be playing your best football.
And then having Sam in an environment like that, that's probably going to be pretty hostile at night with two young guys next to you. I guess it's expanding on what you just said, kind of just the communication piece, but how much does Sam help in that regard?
Yeah, Sam's the vet. He's 24 years old. He started in 50-plus college football games. This isn't his first rodeo. I know I can count on that guy to get his job done every time. He's an awesome football player, awesome leader, awesome friend. His poise, when he brings that confidence and poise to the huddle, everyone around him notices that. And we know that, he's going to get this thing rolling for us. And then, just playing the guys next to me, I have full confidence in them. I have full trust in them. I know they're going to get their job done every play because, we're chasing Joe Moore Award. We want to be the best offensive line in the country, and we're really trying to live by that. So, I have full faith in all my guys, and we're going to get it done.
Jamion obviously has a big personality. Is there any good practice stories or battles?
He was really good at impersonations. So whenever you do some of his, I don't know if you guys know who Spice Adams is, but he does some of those, and he gave a laugh and stuff like that. I remember with him, he's just a great guy. Really fun to be around. So. Looking forward to it.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.